Welcome, everyone. Today we are talking about something that is silently destroying millions of lives, and most people don't even realize it. Mobile phone addiction is not just a bad habit. It is a slow poison. It is stealing your focus. It is stealing your sleep. It is stealing your confidence. It is stealing your health. And the most dangerous part is this. It is stealing your relationships and your children's future. If you feel tired all the time, if your mind feels distracted, if you can't study deeply, if you can't work properly, if you feel anxious for no reason, if you keep checking your phone again and again, then this video is not optional for you. This video is necessary because today I'm not just going to tell you phones are bad. I'm going to show you what this addiction is doing to your brain in a very simple way. What it is doing to children and families. What it is doing to your eyes, your body, your sleep, and your mind. And most importantly, I will give you real solutions, step by step, so you can take your life back. This video is important because your phone is not just in your hand anymore. It is in your mind. And if you don't control it now, it will control your future. So listen till the end, because the solutions at the end can change your life. And as you watch this video, you'll also improve your English listening because I explain everything in a very clear and easy way. If you want to grow your life and your English at the same time, make sure to subscribe and join this journey. 1. The 1990 versus 2026 reality shock. Imagine it's 1990, evening time. You walk outside and you see real life. Children are playing on the ground. Some are running. Some are laughing. Some are fighting and making up again. They are learning how to talk, how to share, how to control their anger, how to win, how to lose. Parents are sitting together. They are talking face to face. They are listening fully. Even if life is hard, their minds are present. If someone was sad, people noticed. If someone was happy, people felt it. If someone needed help, they were not a message. They were a human being sitting right there. People were not perfect in 1990, but one thing was powerful. They were together, physically and mentally. Now imagine 2026, same evening, same houses. But the world is completely different. A family is sitting in one room. Father is scrolling. Mother is watching short videos. Teenager is playing games. And the smallest child is crying, so someone gives a phone to the child to keep them quiet. Now everyone is silent. Not peaceful silence. Dead silence. They are together in the same room, but their minds are in 4 different worlds. No eye contact, no real talk, no deep listening. Even when someone speaks, the other person says, "Wait, just 1 minute," while still staring at the phone. This is the real shock. In 1990, people were bored sometimes, but they were connected. In 2026, people are entertained all the time, but they are disconnected. In 1990, boredom created creativity. Children made games from nothing. They used imagination. In 2026, boredom becomes panic because the brain has been trained. If there is silence, pick the phone. That is addiction, and it is destroying something very important inside humans: the ability to sit quietly, the ability to focus, the ability to talk deeply, the ability to enjoy simple life. Now think about children again. In 1990, a child learned life from real life. They looked at faces. They copied emotions. They learned words by listening to adults. They learned confidence by playing outside. In 2026, many children learn life from a screen. A screen does not give real eye contact. A screen does not teach patience. A screen does not teach real human feelings. A screen gives fast colors, fast sound, fast pleasure. So the child becomes quiet, yes, but the brain becomes restless. That is why today we see so many children who get angry quickly, can't sit quietly, need constant stimulation, don't want books, don't want slow learning, don't want real conversation, because their brain has been trained for speed. And when the brain is trained for speed, real life feels slow. This is the biggest danger of 2026. The phone is not only taking your time, it is changing what your brain enjoys. It is changing what your brain can tolerate. It is changing what your brain considers normal. That's why many people today say, I can't focus. I can't study. I feel restless. I am always tired. I don't feel happy even when life is okay. Because your brain is not hungry for peace anymore. It is hungry for stimulation. Now, I want you to understand something. This is not about blaming technology. Technology is useful, but addiction is dangerous. A knife can cut fruits. A knife can also cut your hand. A phone can help your life. A phone can also destroy your life. It depends on who is controlling who. And right now, for millions of people, the phone is controlling them. 2. Scientific truth. What mobile addiction does to the brain. Very easy, very real. Mobile phone addiction is not just you like your phone. It is your brain getting trained like an animal gets trained. It is your brain learning. When I touch the phone, I feel good. And once your brain learns that deeply, it becomes hard to stop. Inside your brain, there is a system that decides what you repeat. When you do something that gives pleasure, your brain releases a chemical called dopamine. You don't need to remember this name. Just remember what dopamine does. It gives you a small reward feeling. It tells your brain, yes, do this again. That's how humans learn. If you eat tasty food, your brain says, do it again. If you win something, your brain says, do it again. If you get appreciation, your brain says, do it again. Now here's the danger. Phones give dopamine too, but phones give dopamine very fast and very frequently, and that's what makes it addictive. Think about scrolling. You scroll and you see something interesting. Then again. Then again. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes it's amazing. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's shocking. And your brain starts chasing that next surprise. This is the trick. The phone does not give one big reward. It gives many small rewards. And your brain becomes addicted to small rewards. It becomes like this. Just one more video. Just one more reel. Just one more post. Just one more message. And suddenly 1 hour is gone. This is not because you are weak. This is because your brain is being trained. Have you seen a slot machine in a casino? People keep pulling the lever again and again. Why? Because they don't know when they will win. Sometimes they win. Sometimes they lose. That uncertainty keeps them addicted. Your phone works the same way. When you scroll, you don't know what you will get next. That is why your brain keeps going. This is one of the strongest addiction systems in the world. And many apps are designed exactly like this. Not to help you, to keep you there. Now let's talk about the biggest damage. Your focus gets destroyed. Because when you scroll, your brain keeps switching fast. One video, next video, next video, next video. Your brain learns to live in short attention. So later, when you sit to study or work, your brain says, where is the quick reward? But studying gives reward slowly. Work gives reward slowly. Real life gives reward slowly, so your brain becomes impatient. Then you feel, I can't focus, I can't sit, I get bored fast, I feel restless. I start tasks but don't finish. This is not your personality. This is your brain getting used to fast stimulation. When you are addicted to your phone, silence feels uncomfortable because your brain has been trained. Every empty moment must be filled. So, what happens? You pick up the phone while eating, while waiting, while walking, while sitting, even before sleeping, even after waking up. And slowly, your brain forgets how to be calm. Your mind becomes noisy. You may look normal outside, but inside, you feel constant thinking, constant restlessness, constant craving. And then people say, I don't know why I feel anxious. This is one reason. Because your brain is never resting. This is the dangerous stage. When you feel stressed, you scroll. When you feel bored, you scroll. When you feel lonely, you scroll. When you feel sad, you scroll. So your brain learns. Phone equals medicine. But it is fake medicine. It gives temporary relief, but it makes the problem bigger later. Because you are not solving stress. You are escaping stress. You are not solving loneliness. You are numbing loneliness. You are not training discipline. You are training addiction. And that is why people feel empty after long scrolling. Because deep inside, they know, I wasted time again. And that guilt becomes more stress. And that stress sends them back to the phone again. This becomes a cycle. The more your brain gets used to fast dopamine, the less it enjoys simple life. Simple things become boring. Talking to family, reading a book, working on goals, sitting quietly, walking outside, normal daily tasks, because those things don't give fast reward. So your brain says, not interesting. That is why many people feel, I don't feel happy anymore. Not because life is bad, but because their brain has been trained to need constant stimulation. This is the silent destruction, not only time loss, brain change. Now listen, because this is the most powerful part. Your brain can recover. Your brain is not fixed. Your brain is trainable. Just like addiction was trained, control can be trained too. If you reduce screen addiction, your focus can return. Your patience can return. Your sleep can return. Your peace can return. And you will feel something you forgot. Real life. Real moments. Real calm. And when that calm returns, your life feels bigger again. Not because you bought something new, but because your brain became free again. 3. Children. The silent damage. Developmental impact. Adults can understand addiction, but children cannot. A child's brain is not strong yet. It is soft. It is growing. It is learning how to become human. And what you give to a child in the first few years does not just pass time. It shapes the brain. Let's understand this in a very simple way. A child's brain grows fastest from age 0 to 5. In these early years, the brain is building connections every second. Every smile, every word, every touch, every real conversation, every outdoor experience. All of this builds the child's future mind. Now imagine replacing that with a screen. Not sometimes, but often. That is where silent damage begins. Imagine this situation. A 1-year-old baby cries. Parents are tired, busy, stressed. They give the baby a phone. The baby stops crying immediately. It feels like a solution. Quiet baby, peaceful house. But what is really happening? That baby's brain is being trained to calm down through stimulation, not connection. Normally, when a baby cries, the parent looks into their eyes, speaks softly, touches gently, hugs them, Through this, the baby learns how to calm down, how to trust, how to feel safe, how to regulate emotions. But when a phone replaces that moment, the baby learns something else. Bright screen equals comfort. No emotional connection, no eye contact, no voice tone, no real bonding. That missing connection affects emotional development, and this is happening quietly in many homes. Myopia. Let's talk about eyes. Children's eyes are still developing. When a child spends hours looking at a screen very close to their face, the eyes adjust to near vision. The eye muscles stay tight for a long time. And over months and years, distance vision becomes weaker. This is called myopia. In simple words, the child can see near things clearly, but far things become blurry. Why is this increasing? Because children today play less outside, look at distant objects less, spend more time indoors, focus on close screens for long hours. Sunlight and outdoor play are very important for healthy eye development, but screens are replacing sunlight. That is not a small change. That is a biological change. Children need deep sleep, not just lying down. Deep, healthy sleep. Sleep is when the brain grows, when memory builds, when hormones balance, when the body repairs. But screens give blue light. Blue light tells the brain, it is daytime. So melatonin, the sleep hormone, decreases. The child sleeps later, sleeps lighter, wakes up tired. And a tired child becomes more irritable, less focused, more emotional, more restless. Parents may think, my child is naughty. But sometimes the problem is not behavior. It is sleep damage. And sleep damage often starts with screens. Children today move less. In the past, boredom meant running. Boredom meant cycling. Boredom meant climbing trees. Boredom meant imagination. Now, boredom means scrolling. Less movement means more weight gain, weak muscles, poor posture, low stamina. And here is something important. Physical movement is not just for the body. It is for the brain. When children move, the brain grows stronger. Focus improves. Mood improves. When children sit still for long hours on screens, both body and brain suffer. Now let's talk about something very serious. Speech delay. In early childhood, babies learn language by hearing real people talk. They learn from facial expressions, lip movement, tone, emotion. A screen cannot replace this. A cartoon may speak, but it does not respond to the child. Real conversation is two-way. Screens are one-way. When children are exposed to too much screen time early, many show delayed speech, poor vocabulary, less eye contact, reduced social interaction, short attention span, because the brain is not practicing real communication. It is just consuming visual stimulation. And stimulation is not education. Fast cartoons do not build thinking. They build excitement. Real thinking builds in silence, in reading, in conversation, in problem solving, in imagination. If a child constantly watches fast-moving content, the brain becomes used to speed. So when the child sits in a classroom, listening to a teacher speak slowly, the brain says, "This is boring." Attention drops, learning drops, confidence drops. Another silent damage is emotional control. When children get used to instant entertainment, they lose patience. If they want something and don't get it, they become angry quickly. Because screens teach everything fast, everything now, everything easy. But real life is slow. Real life requires waiting, listening, trying again, failing and learning. If a child does not practice these skills, emotional strength becomes weak. And later in teenage years, this can turn into high frustration, low tolerance, anxiety, low resilience. Children learn social skills by playing with other children. They learn how to share, how to apologize, how to negotiate, how to handle losing, how to understand feelings. A screen cannot teach this. So when screen time replaces playtime, social skill development becomes weak. Later, this may appear as social awkwardness, low confidence, fear of real conversations, preference for online interaction only. And slowly, the child grows physically, but emotionally remains underdeveloped. When parents are also on phones constantly, children learn something. They learn, I am competing with a screen. They see their parents looking at a screen more than looking at them. This affects attachment. Children need attention, not just food, not just clothes, not just toys. They need eye contact, listening, presence. When screens enter every moment, bonding reduces. And bonding in childhood builds mental strength for adulthood. Now listen carefully. This is not about blaming parents. Parents are tired, life is fast, work is stressful, but awareness changes everything. The brain of a child is still growing, which means damage can be reduced, habits can be corrected, attention can be rebuilt, speech can improve, sleep can recover, if action is taken early. Even small changes matter. Less screen, more conversation, more outdoor play, more reading, more presence. Children do not need perfect parents. They need present parents. And if you understand this now, you can protect your child's future. 4. Adults, the hidden destruction. Now let's talk about adults, because most people think phone addiction is a kid's problem. No, adults are also trapped. The only difference is, children show it quickly. Adults hide it better. Adults still go to work, still smile, still talk. But inside, something is slowly collapsing. Focus, peace, confidence, relationships, self-respect. And the worst part is this. Adults don't even call it addiction. They call it, I'm just checking something. I'm just relaxing. I'm just scrolling a little. I'm just replying. But if you can't sit for 10 minutes without checking your phone, that's not normal. That is dependency. 1. Your focus gets broken into pieces. In the past, the mind could sit on one thing. A book, a task, a conversation, a goal. Now the phone trains your brain to switch every few seconds. Message, notification, video, comment, news, another video. Your brain becomes a jumper. It jumps from one thing to another. And when your brain becomes a jumper, it cannot become a builder. Because builders need focus. Now here is something simple and real. If you keep interrupting your mind stops trusting you. You sit to work, but your brain says, this is slow, where's the quick reward? So you check the phone. Then work feels heavy. Then you delay. Then you panic. Then you feel guilty. Then you scroll again to escape guilt. This is how phone addiction destroys productivity without you realizing it. You don't lose 1 hour. You lose the ability to work deeply. And deep work is what changes life. 2. You become mentally tired without doing anything. This is a strange thing many people feel. They did not do heavy work, yet they feel exhausted. Why? Because constant scrolling is mental noise. Your brain is processing hundreds of small pieces of information. Faces, sounds, captions, opinions, drama, arguments, jokes, sadness, news. Even if you are just watching, your brain is working. But it is useless work. It gives no real result. So at the end, you feel tired and empty. Like you lived a full day, but built nothing. That feeling is dangerous, because it slowly kills motivation. 3. Anxiety increases, even if life is fine. Many adults feel anxious and restless today, not because their life is always terrible, but because their mind never rests. The phone keeps the brain in alert mode. Notifications create the feeling, something is happening. I must check. Even if nothing is important. This trains your brain to stay slightly nervous all day. And also, social media gives too much comparison. You see other people's money, travel, relationships, success, body. Even if it's fake, your brain believes it. Then you feel, I'm behind. My life is boring. I'm not enough. This creates silent anxiety. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind that sits in the chest, the kind that steals peace. 4. Depression and emotional numbness. Here's a truth nobody likes to admit. Too much screen time can make you emotionally numb because your brain is constantly consuming content. So real life becomes less interesting. A normal day feels empty. A normal conversation feels slow. A normal moment feels useless. Then people say, I don't feel happy anymore. This happens because your brain has been trained to need high stimulation to feel anything. And when the phone is not giving stimulation, you feel low. This is not your personality. This is your nervous system being overloaded. The mind becomes tired. The heart becomes empty. And slowly, depression starts growing quietly. 5. Relationships start dying. Slowly. Phones kill relationships in a silent way, not with fights, but with neglect. People sit together but don't connect. One person talks, the other person half listens while scrolling. Over time, the speaking person feels, I'm not important. And the scrolling person thinks, I'm here. What's the problem? But being in the same room is not presence. Presence means attention. If you don't give attention, love slowly becomes cold. Small moments disappear. Real talks, laughing together, sharing feelings, eye contact, deep listening, even between husband and wife, or parents and children. Phones create a house full of people, but emotionally empty, and this creates loneliness, even inside a family. 6. Your confidence gets weaker. Confidence comes from doing hard things, from finishing tasks, from improving yourself, from building discipline. But phone addiction gives easy pleasure, and easy pleasure creates weak confidence. Because deep inside you know, I'm wasting my potential. You may not say it loudly, but your mind knows. And when your mind knows you are wasting your own life, self-respect decreases. That is why many people feel, I'm not proud of myself. Not because they are bad people, but because they are living on distraction. Now listen, you are not weak. You are not broken. You are not hopeless. Your brain is trained, and anything trained can be retrained. Your focus can come back. Your peace can return. Your sleep can improve. Your relationships can become alive again. Your confidence can return. But you must decide one thing. You will control the phone, not the phone controlling you. 5. Physical damage, beyond eyes and sleep. People think phone addiction is only a mind problem. But the truth is, your phone is also slowly damaging your body, not in one day, not in 1 week, but in a silent daily way. And one day you suddenly feel, my body is tired, my neck hurts, my head hurts, my energy is gone, my posture is bad, I feel weak, and you don't even know why. 1. Text neck? Your neck was not designed for this. Your head is heavy, it's not light, and your neck is not made to hold your head bent down for hours. But what do most people do? They keep the neck down like this, scrolling, chatting, watching, gaming, for long periods. This creates something called text neck. In simple words, neck pain caused by looking down too much. Your neck muscles become tight. Your shoulders become stiff. Upper back becomes painful. Over time, your posture changes. And once posture changes, it affects everything. Breathing becomes shallow. Confidence looks lower. Energy reduces. Because posture is not only about body, posture affects mood. When you stay in a bent position all day, your body starts acting like you are tired and defeated. This is why people feel low without knowing why. The body is speaking. 2. Shoulder and upper back pain. Tightness becomes normal. Holding a phone keeps your shoulders slightly forward. That small forward position, repeated daily, becomes your new normal. Then you start feeling tight shoulders, upper back burning, pain between shoulder blades. And then you start thinking it is normal stress. But often it's not stress only. It is physical strain from daily phone posture. This is why some people stretch, but the pain returns again. Because the cause is still there. Hours of the same position. 3. Wrist and thumb. Pain. The hidden hand injury. Your thumb was not designed to scroll for hours. The wrist was not designed to hold a phone for long times. But now people are using thumbs and wrists like machines. Scrolling, typing, gaming, swiping. Over time, this can cause thumb pain, wrist pain, weak grip, stiff fingers. Some people even feel numbness. That's not imagination. It is overuse. The hand gets tired like any other muscle. But people don't rest it, because addiction keeps going. 4. Headaches and brain fog. Many people now complain about headaches. Not always migraines. Sometimes a dull, heavy headache. Or this feeling, my mind feels foggy. I can't think clearly. My head feels heavy. Phone addiction increases this because your eyes keep focusing on a small screen. Your brain keeps processing fast content. Your body stays still. Your neck stays strained. This combination creates tension, and tension often becomes headache. Also, fast screen content keeps the brain in alert mode, so your brain never fully relaxes. When the brain doesn't relax, it feels heavy. That is brain fog, and brain fog makes life feel harder than it is. 5. Hormonal and energy imbalance. Your body has natural energy rhythms. Morning energy, afternoon energy, night sleep. But phone addiction destroys natural rhythm. Not only sleep timing, it also changes your daily energy. When you scroll too much, you move less. You go outside less. You get less sunlight. You sit too long. This affects hormones. Your body becomes lazy not because you are lazy, but because your lifestyle becomes inactive. Less movement means lower stamina, lower energy, more tiredness, more cravings for junk food. Your body starts operating on low power mode. And then you blame yourself. But the real reason is, the phone stole movement from your life. 6. Weight gain and slow metabolism. This is not only about children. Adults also gain weight because of the phone. Think about this. Phone addiction makes you sit longer. When you sit longer, you burn fewer calories. Digestion becomes slower. Body becomes stiff. Also, many people scroll while eating. So they don't notice how much they ate. They eat fast. They eat more. They keep snacking. So the phone doesn't only waste time, it quietly changes eating behavior. And because activity goes down and eating increases, weight goes up. Then confidence goes down. Then people feel tired. Then they scroll more. It becomes a cycle. The goal is to protect your body, because your body is your home. If your body becomes weak, your whole life becomes harder. And here is the motivational truth. You don't need a big gym routine to fight this. You need simple daily movement. Stand up more, walk more, stretch more, look up more, live more. Because every time you choose movement over scrolling, you are choosing life over addiction. 6. Powerful solutions. Real, simple, life-changing. Now we come to the most important part, because knowing the damage is not enough. If someone watches this video and only feels fear, guilt, and shock, then the video failed. This part is the rescue. This part is where you take your life back, and I will make it very simple. Not like do 100 things, just clear actions that normal people can actually do. Because the goal is not to throw your phone away. The goal is to stop your phone from throwing your life away. So here are powerful solutions that work because they change your environment, your habits, and your daily behavior. Solution 1. Decide your real reason, the why that stops relapse. First, you must make it personal. Because if you don't have a strong reason, you will always relapse. So write one sentence. I am reducing phone addiction because I want my brain back, because I want to be present with my family, because I want to focus and build my future, because I want my confidence back, because I want my child to grow healthy. This sentence becomes your anchor. When cravings come, you remember, I'm not doing this to suffer. I'm doing this to get my life back. Without a reason, you lose. With a reason, you fight. Solution 2. Break the automatic pickup. Habit. Most addiction is not strong desire. It is automatic behavior. The hand moves without thinking. So, we must break the automatic pickup. Here is the simple rule. Before you touch your phone, ask, what is my purpose? If there is no purpose, do not touch. This 1 second of pause destroys the autopilot. And autopilot is the real enemy. You don't need more willpower. You need awareness before action. Solution 3. Remove the triggers, not just the time. People try to reduce screen time, but they keep all the triggers. So addiction wins. Triggers are things that pull you. Notifications, colorful apps on home screen, phone next to pillow, phone in your hand during boring moments, phone during meals. So we remove triggers first. 1. Turn off all unnecessary notifications. Only keep calls and truly important messages. 2. Remove the most addictive apps from the home screen. Make the phone boring. 3. Use grayscale mode. Make the screen less attractive. This is powerful because addiction loves colors and quick rewards. When the screen looks boring, the brain becomes less hungry. Solution 4. Create no-phone zones. This changes families. This is not about rules that you break. This is about environment. Make certain places phone-free. Bedroom, dining table, bathroom, study or work desk. The strongest one is no phone in the bedroom, because the bedroom should be for sleep and peace, not for stimulation. When you protect your bedroom, you protect your mind. Solution 5. Create phone parking. One simple habit that works. This is extremely practical. Choose one fixed place in your home as phone parking. Every time you enter home, the phone goes there. Not in your pocket, not in your hand. Because if it stays in your pocket, your brain keeps checking it. When the phone is physically away, the craving reduces. Distance kills temptation. This habit is simple but powerful. Solution 6. Use the timer lock method. Stop endless scrolling. The biggest problem is endlessness, so we add an end. Use a timer. Example, I will scroll for 10 minutes, then stop. When the timer rings, you stop. Not later. Not one more video. Stop. This retrains the brain. I control the phone. The phone does not control me. At first it feels hard, but after a few days, your brain learns boundaries again. Solution 7. Replace the phone with a real reward, or you will fail. Most people fail because they remove the phone but replace it with nothing. Then boredom feels painful, so you must replace the phone with a real reward. Simple replacements: a short walk, talking to someone, music without video, writing your thoughts, reading 2 pages, stretching, making tea and sitting quietly, learning one small skill daily. The brain needs a new comfort. If you remove one habit, you must add another. Otherwise, the brain returns to the old habit. Solution 8. The 20-minute challenge. Rebuild focus. This solution rebuilds your brain strength. Every day, do 20 minutes of deep focus. No phone, no switching. One task only. Reading, studying, working, writing, learning. Just 20 minutes. This is not about being perfect. This is like training a weak muscle. At first, the mind will scream, "Check your phone." That's normal. Don't obey. Finish the 20 minutes. After 7 days, your focus improves. After 21 days, your brain becomes calmer. After a few months, you feel like a new person. Because focus is power. And this challenge builds it. Solution 9. Fix your night routine. The fastest improvement. If you want fast results, fix the last hour of your day. Rule: no phone for the last 60 minutes before sleep. Instead, wash your face. Prepare tomorrow's clothes. Write tomorrow's top 3 tasks. Read something simple. Sit quietly. Stretch. Sleep. This one habit improves sleep quality, morning energy, mood, focus, patience. And when sleep improves, you stop craving the phone so much. Because tired brains crave easy pleasure. A rested brain chooses better. Solution 10. The 7-day reset plan. Here is a practical plan people can follow. Day 1. Turn off notifications plus remove addictive apps from home screen. Day 2. No phone at the dining table. Day 3. No phone in the bedroom. Day 4. 20-minute deep focus daily starts. Day 5. Use a timer for scrolling. Day 6. 1 hour phone-free in the evening. Day 7. Half-day low phone day. Use only for important things. Not perfect, but strong. And after 7 days, people feel something powerful. Freedom. Now listen carefully. Your phone is not evil, but addiction is. And addiction steals your life one day at a time. You don't need to destroy your phone. You need to destroy the control it has over you. Because your attention is your future. If you control your attention, you control your life. So start today. Not next week. Not next month. Today. Even if you fail sometimes, keep going. Because every time you choose real life over the screen, you are winning. And one day you will look back and realize, I didn't just reduce screen time. I rebuilt myself.